Rohit has been at this company for 9 years. 9 years of hitting his targets, 9 years of good performance reviews, 9 years of waiting. Last month, his company announced a new senior manager role. Rohit didn't even get a conversation. The person who got it had been there for 4 years. Rohit isn't angry, he's confused. Because he did everything right. That was the problem. If you've ever sat in a meeting where someone repeated your idea and got credit for it, if you've ever watched a colleague get promoted and thought, I work harder than him, if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but somehow still invisible, this video is for you. I'm going to show you 5 signs that you're being overlooked, but not in the way you expect. Because most people who search for this topic already know something is wrong. What they don't know is what's actually causing it. It's not your performance, it's not your attitude, it's not office politics. It's something much more specific, and once you see it, you can fix it. A few years ago, I spoke with a VP at a large Indian IT company. He was talking about two managers on his team, both strong performers, both well liked. One of them got promoted twice in 3 years, the other is still waiting. He told me exactly why. I'll come back to that. First, the 5 signs. Sign number one, your ideas land differently depending on who says them. You've been in that meeting, you said something, the room moved on. 10 minutes later, someone else said almost the same thing. The room stopped. People nodded. Your manager wrote it down. And the worst part isn't the injustice of it. The worst part is the private calculation that happens inside you afterward. Maybe I didn't explain it clearly enough. Maybe I need to speak louder. Maybe I should have sent it in an email first. You're trying to fix a communication problem, but it's not a communication problem. We'll come back to what it actually is. Sign number two, you're consulted, not included. There's a pattern that many overlooked managers don't notice until it's pointed out. People come to you for advice, for opinions, for help solving problems. But when the actual decision is made, when the room where it happens is chosen, your name isn't on the invite. You are respected as a resource, you are not seen as a leader. And if you're honest, you felt that distinction. You just didn't have words for it until now. Sign number three, your performance review uses the word consistent. Consistent performer, reliable team member, always delivers. These sound like compliments. In a performance review that leads to a promotion, they are. In a review that comes with a 7% increment and no other conversation, they're a ceiling. Consistent means we know exactly what we'll get from you. What it doesn't say is we don't know what more you could become. Sign number four, you work harder when you feel overlooked. This one is uncomfortable to say, but it's true for almost everyone in this situation. When Rohit felt passed over, he didn't step back. He stayed later. He took on more. He delivered more. And his manager noticed and gave him more work. There's a trap here that high performers fall into more than anyone else, the belief that more delivery will eventually be noticed. That if you just do enough, the room will turn around and see you. The room is not turning around, not because you're not good enough, because you're solving the wrong problem. Sign number five, you feel most invisible in the rooms that matter most. Not in your team meetings, not with people at your level, in the rooms where senior leadership is present. Something shifts, your voice gets quieter, your certainty disappears. You wait for the perfect moment to speak and it doesn't come. And afterward, on the drive home, you replay everything you should have said. If you recognize yourself in even two of these 5 signs, you are not struggling because you're not good enough. You are struggling because no one ever taught you what visibility actually requires. Now, back to that VP I mentioned. Two managers, same performance, same tenure, one promoted twice in 3 years, one still waiting. I asked him, what was the difference? He said, one of them tells me what happened, the other tells me what it means. That sentence stopped me. because it reframes everything. Visibility is not about being seen doing work. Every manager on that team was seen doing work. Visibility is about being seen making sense of work. Delivery tells your manager you're capable, judgment tells your manager you're ready for the next level. The manager who got promoted twice wasn't doing more. He was translating his work into the language of leadership. Instead of, we completed the migration on time, he said, the migration positions us to reduce dependency costs by Q3. Instead of, the client feedback was mixed, he said, the feedback tells us we have a positioning problem, not a product problem. Same information, completely different signal to the room. Rohit's problem was not his performance. Rohit's problem was that he was speaking the language of execution in a room that was listening for the language of leadership. So here is the one shift I want you to try this week. The next time you're in a room with senior leadership, whether it's a review, a status update, or a casual walkthrough, don't just report what happened. Add one sentence of judgment, not we delivered the feature on schedule, but we delivered on schedule, and what that unlocks is the ability to start the next phase before the budget cycle resets. Not the team is facing some bandwidth issues, but we have a prioritization decision to make. Here's what I think we should protect. One sentence. That moves you from reporter to advisor. That moves you from someone who delivers to someone who leads. This is not about confidence. This is not about speaking louder or more often. This is about changing what you're communicating, not how much. Rohit is still at that company. He didn't get that promotion. But 3 months ago, in a quarterly review, he tried something different. Instead of walking his director through the project update, he said, before I get into the details, here's what I think this quarter tells us about where we're heading. His director looked up from his laptop. That was the first time he had ever looked up. Now, the honest part. Knowing this is the easy part. The hard part is that you've spent years being rewarded for staying in your lane, for not overstepping, for delivering and being quiet about it. That conditioning is real, and one video won't undo it. But here's what I know. The managers who eventually get seen, they don't change their work. They change what they say about their work. The real question is not whether you're capable of the next level. The real question is whether the room knows it yet.